In this video, Jordan Peterson explains what it means to be a functional human being.
So, anyways, all right, so the children all get together and they say, well, here's what we're going to do. And everyone says yes, and so they orient their personalities towards that goal. And then they interact in a cooperative and competitive way in pursuing the goal. And that's a game. And what they're doing is practicing being social human beings. And they do that with all sorts of different games. And then you might say, well, here's something really worth thinking about. What does it mean to be a functional human being? To me, it means to be the sort of human being that can be a good player across multiple games. So you might think, for example, you tell your kid, I'll tell you the story about a hockey game that I saw once. Hockey parents say 10% of them should just be jailed as soon as they enter the arena. So when my kid played, I don't know what you call it, A-level, high-level hockey for a while when he was a kid anyways. He was a good hockey player. But it was really unbearable, so we didn't do it for very long for a variety of reasons. But anyways, on his way to learning how to play hockey, he was in one of these local leagues. We had an arena just around the corner, fortunately enough. And he wasn't the best player on the team. There was another kid on the team who was better, I would say. And he was in a championship game at one point. He hadn't been in very many championship games because his teams often weren't very good. But anyways, it was the local championship, and we went and watched, and it was a really fun game, you know, like it was really close. I think it was 3-3 till the final 15 or 20 seconds, and then some kid from the other team scored a really good goal. You know, it wasn't one of those things where they accidentally kicked the puck into the net or something. It was a really nice play. And so it was a tight game. The teams were well matched. The local league had made sure, like, they'd set up teams together, and then if one team kept winning too consistently or one losing too consistently, they'd sort of revamp the team so they were roughly equal, which I really liked because, you know, all the kids got a reasonably equal shot at it and everybody got to develop. So anyways, we were watching that. It was pretty fun. And the star kid, he was skating around out there, and the game ended, and he went off the ice and he smashed his hockey stick onto the cement because he was all irritated, and you know, which was pretty pathetic. And then his father came running up to him and said, "Oh, you got robbed. It was really terrible. You know, the reffing was bad, and you played very well, and you should have won the game." And he didn't say, you know, stop being a little rat and smashing your hockey stick onto the cement like you're 3, which is what he should have said. He basically rewarded his child for narcissistic, immature misbehavior. So it was pretty pathetic. It was child abuse as far as I'm concerned. Sort of up this like, really, man, that's stupid. What are you going to do? You're going to train your child to be a narcissist? It's like that. Of course that's child abuse. It's moronic. Of course it was due to his own foolishness, but I don't know if that's criminal, right? But it was really pathetic. So, but think about this now for a minute. So you might think, well, what did that kid do wrong? It's like, well, he wanted to win, so that's okay. You should want to win if you're playing a game. I mean, you're not any fun if you're playing a game and you're not trying to win. And there's nothing more miserable than playing a game with someone and at the end they say, well, you won because I wasn't really trying. It's like, you know, you're not going to play with them again if they do that. And that's kind of interesting because it means they've done something wrong. You know, and even a kid can figure that out. And so you might tell your kid, be a good sport. And it doesn't matter whether you win or not, it matters how you play the game. Now, what the hell? A kid doesn't know what to make of that, and you hardly even believe it, right? You think, yeah, it does matter if you win, so I don't know what this means. But you'll tell the child that. And so then you might think, well, what does it mean to be a good sport? And that how you play the game is more important than whether you win or lose. Okay, so think about it this way. What's your goal? Well, you might say to win the hockey game. But that implies you're only going to play one hockey game. What if you're going to play 100 hockey games? And then forget about that. What if you're going to play 100 hockey games and 200 basketball games and 50 chess games, and you're going to have a bunch of jobs, and you're going to have a bunch of friends, and you're going to have a bunch of relationships. And all of those have a game-like structure. And let's say that you're a real son of a bitch when you play hockey, and so no one ever invites you to do any of those other things. It's like, well, you win the game, but you lose the meta game. And the metagame is the game that's made up of all the games you're ever going to play. And what a parent means when they say, doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it matters how you play the game, is that the metagame is more important than the game, and you should learn how to play games so that whether or not you win or lose, people really want to play with you. Because if they want to play with you, man, you're set, right? So here's a cool game. So, okay, you two are going to play this game. Are you ready? Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to give you $20. You have to give some of that to him. You only get to offer once. If he rejects it, neither of you get anything. Okay, how much are you going to give him? 10. Would you take that?
Okay.
Okay, you would. Why?
I mean, like, first is better than nothing. Second
Yes.
is a fair amount.
It's
like,
fair.
yeah.
Right, yeah. So this experiment has been done all over the world. And so basically what they find is that people pretty much offer 50-50. Now, here's something cool. Let's say you go play this game and you use $20 and you're playing it with really poor people. And so you set the game up. So you say, look, offer him $2. He's poor. He'll take it. So you offer him $2. What does he do? He tells you to screw off. Right, and he's more likely to do that if he's poor. So that's pretty interesting, because like a classical economist would say, look, what you should have done was offered him $1. It's like, you get 19, you get 19. He gets $1, he's going to take the damn dollar because it's better than nothing. But that isn't what people are like. It's like you give them $1 and you get 19, they want to punch you. Right, they're not going to take that. And that's because they don't want to play the game that way. They want to play the game so that it's fair across multiple games. Now you might say, let's say you're playing that in front of a whole bunch of people, like we were now. And let's say all these people are going to be able to invite you to play the same game. And so maybe you're going to be able to make $400 in the next hour. So then you might say, well, what should I do if I wanted everybody to invite me to play this game as much as possible? Then how much would you offer? 15, exactly. That's cool. So that means actually you lost the game. The one game, right? Because you only get 15, 5, and he gets 15. But like everyone's thinking, hey, I'm going to play this game with her. Well, that's what it means when you tell someone to play the game properly. You say, act as if, while you're playing the specific game, that there's a higher order moral principle that has to do with the total number of games that you're going to play across your entire life, and play that game properly. Yeah, well, that's the evolution of higher moral thinking, in part, from a Piagetian perspective. It's bloody brilliant. So, all right, we'll see you Tuesday.